So in yesterday class, we discussed regarding some of the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Nothing but reaction with aqueous KOH, reaction with moist silver oxide, reaction with NaI, reaction with sodium alkoxide, which is nothing but Williamson's ether synthesis, reaction with ammonia, reaction with AgCN, and reaction with KCN. Right. Still 3 more properties are there. So reaction with KNO2, potassium nitrite. See, when haloalkanes RX is allowed to react with potassium nitrite KNO2, then here X minus is replaced by NO2 minus, and we can get RONO, which is nothing but called as alkyl nitrite. This is alkyl nitrite. So an example, take here CH3CH2Cl chloroethane when react with KNO2, that is a potassium nitrite, then we can get CH3 CH2 ONO. This is called as ethyl nitrite. Plus the byproduct is KCl in both cases. So haloalkanes, when allowed to react with potassium nitrite, then we can get alkyl nitrite as the product. For an example, if you take ethyl chloride, this Cl minus is replaced by NO2 minus, and we can get ethyl nitrite. Suppose the same reaction if carried out with AgNO2. Next one is a reaction with AgNO2. This is nothing but silver nitrite. Reaction with silver nitrite. Now see this. Rx plus AgNO2, and here you can get RNO2. This is nothing but a nitroalkane we can get as the product, plus AgX. This is called a nitroalkane. And take an example here. CH3 CH2Cl plus AgNO2 gives rise CH3 CH2 NO2 plus AgCl. This is called as nitroethane. So when haloalkanes are allowed to react with silver nitrite, then we can get nitroalkanes as the product. For an example, if ethyl chloride is allowed to react with silver nitrite, then we can get nitroethane as the product here. What is the difference between these two? See, this is also nitrite salt, this is also nitrite salt. But here we got alkyl nitrate as the product, whereas here we got nitroalkane as the product. What is the difference between these two? See, alkyl nitrite and nitroalkane both are functional isomers. See here, oxygen of nitrite group is attached to carbon here, whereas here nitrogen of NO2 group is attached to the carbon. So alkyl nitrite and nitroalkane, both these two are functional isomers. And here In this case, the reaction takes place by ionic mechanism, whereas here, in this case, the reaction takes place by covalent mechanism. See how the reaction takes place here. So if you take a KNO2, first KNO2 splits into ions, K plus ONO minus. This is a nitrite ion, where oxygen is free to donate lone pair of electrons, not nitrogen here. Here nitrogen also contains lone pair, but here if you take O minus, in O minus oxygen contains 3 lone pairs on it, so electron density is more. So among nitrogen and oxygen, oxygen can donate lone pair of electrons readily here, O minus. So this O minus can attack this alkyl carbon here. When this O minus attack this alkyl carbon, then this Cl electron pair is gained by Cl, and Cl minus gets separates. The Cl minus and the remaining K plus here both combine to form KCl. So reaction with KNO2 takes place by the formation of ions, ionic mechanism. First, potassium nitride splits into potassium ion and nitrate ion, where here oxygen is free to donate lone pair of electrons because electron density is more at oxygen than compared to nitrogen here. So this oxygen donates lone pair of electrons to carbon, thereby this is sigma electrons of CCl bond gained by chlorine. Then we can get ethyl nitrite as the product here. The same, if you take this reaction, AgNO2, here the bond between silver and oxygen is covalent in nature, and here also oxygen contains 2 lone pairs of electrons, nitrogen contains 1 lone pair of electron. But among nitrogen and oxygen, oxygen is more electronegative. It cannot donate lone pair of electrons readily than compared to nitrogen. Among oxygen and nitrogen, nitrogen can donate lone pair of electrons easily because electronegativity of nitrogen is less. So it has more tendency to donate electron pair than compared to oxygen. So here, nitrogen donates lone pair of electrons to carbon. Then this electron pair is gained by chlorine, and Cl minus get separate. So here nitrogen is bonded to alkyl carbon. So whenever this electron pair is donated to here, this electron pair is gained by this, and this electron pair is transferred to oxygen. As a result here, we can get this as N plus and this as O minus. On the whole, the molecule is neutral. So this is the mechanism for this. So here the reaction takes place by covalent mechanism because the bond between silver and oxygen is predominantly covalent in nature, whereas the bond between potassium and this oxygen is predominantly ionic in nature. So here this reaction takes place by covalent mechanism. This reaction takes place by ionic mechanism. In ionic mechanism, oxygen can donate lone pair of electrons, whereas in this covalent mechanism, nitrogen is free to donate lone pair of electrons. So that's why we got a nitroalkane here, whereas alkyl nitrite here. Okay, so this is regarding a reaction of haloalkanes with potassium nitrite and silver nitrite. Potassium nitrite gives alkyl nitrite, whereas silver nitrite gives nitroalkane. Alkyl nitrite and nitroalkane are both functional isomers. So this is another reaction. I'll come to the next reaction. A reaction with silver salts of carboxylic acids. So when haloalkane RX is allowed to react with R dash COOAZ, silver salt of carboxylic acid. Then here the product formed is this oxygen contains 2 lone pairs of electrons, and now this oxygen attack here at this, and this is gained by this, and then whenever this electron pair is donated here, this electron pair is gained by oxygen. Az gets separated as Az plus, and this X gets separated as X minus. Az plus and X minus combine to form AzX, and then we can get a R dash COOR plus AzX. What is this? This is nothing but ester. So when haloalkanes are allowed to react with a silver salt of carboxylic acid, then we can get ester as the product. Let us take an example here for this. C2H5Br, nothing but ethyl bromide. This is ethyl bromide. When ethyl bromide is allowed to react with CH3COOAZ, this is nothing but a silver acetate. Nothing but when acetic acid is neutralized with the silver hydroxide, then we can get silver salt of acetic acid, which is called as silver acetate. Then we can get here this Br minus and Az plus gets separates as AzBr, and then we can get CH3COO CH5 plus AzBr. Then see what is the name of this compound. Esters are named as alkyl alkanoate. This is the alkyl group here. This is alkanoate. Now this alkyl group is nothing but ethyl group. This is nothing but acetate or ethanoate. Ethyl ethanoate. This is the IUPAC name, and the common name is ethyl acetate. Ethyl acetate is the common name, whereas ethyl ethanoate is IUPAC name. Okay, one thing here. So in this reaction, we should use primary haloalkanes to get esters. Suppose instead of using primary haloalkanes, if you use secondary and tertiary haloalkanes, then elimination may predominates, and you can get alkene as the product. So this method is suitable for the reaction of esters. This is silver salt of estates. This means silver salts of carboxylic acid with the primary haloalkanes, not better with secondary or tertiary haloalkanes. And one more. Reaction with acetylides. RX haloalkane, when allowed to react with the acetylide, what are acetylides? Nothing but salts of alkynes. Acetylides are alkynides. This is nothing but, if you take H here, there is acetylide. Instead of H, you can take alkyl group, that is called as alkynides. Sodium alkynide. So when haloalkanes are allowed to react with sodium alkynides or sodium acetylides, then X minus replaced by this acetylide or alkynide, then we can get R single bond C, triple bond C, R dash. Let it be R dash. So when haloalkanes are allowed to react with sodium salts of alkynides, then we can get alkyne as the product. Suppose in the same reaction, if you use the acetylide RX plus HC triple bond CNA. Nothing but this is a sodium acetylide, monosodium acetylide. When this monosodium acetylide is allowed to react with haloalkane, then we can get HC triple bond Cr plus NaX is formed as the byproduct. Suppose if haloalkane is allowed to react with disodium acetylide, Na plus C triple bond C, Na, C minus Na plus. Then now this can react with 2 moles of haloalkane, and this 2 sodium atoms and this 2 halogens get separated as 2 NaX. Then we can get R C triple bond C R plus NaX, 2 NaX. This is. So when haloalkanes are allowed to react with alkynides or acetylides, we can get alkynes. So this method is better useful for the preparation of non-terminal alkynes. In any case, if you want to prepare this is a terminal alkyne. These two are non-terminal alkynes. So non-terminal alkynes are better prepared by the reaction of haloalkanes with acetylides, monosodium acetylide or disodium acetylide. If you take monosodium acetylide, we can get a terminal alkyne. If you take a disodium acetylide, we can get non-terminal alkynes. So haloalkanes, when allowed to react with sodium alkynides or sodium acetylides, we can get alkynes, either terminal or non-terminal alkynes. So these are all examples of nucleophilic substitution reactions. So this is the first type of reactions what we discussed yesterday. So these are all nucleophilic substitution reactions. In all these, the common feature is the nucleophile of the reagent given replaces halide ion in the haloalkane. See briefly all those already on a simple form. Rx. When this is allowed to react with KOH, gives rise. What is the nucleophile here? OH minus. OH minus replaces X minus. Then you can get ROH. And Rx plus moist silver oxide, nothing but AzOH. This can split into Az plus and OH minus. Now OH minus replaces X minus. Then you can get ROH as product. Rx plus NaI. This can split into Na plus and I minus. Now I minus replaces X minus. Then you can get Ri as the product. Rx plus R dash ONA. Now this splits as R dash O minus plus Na plus. This R dash O minus replaces X minus. Then you can get R dash OR. Nothing but ether as the product. Now when haloalkane is allowed to react with ammonia, then this NH2, this nitrogen attacks this alkyl carbon and replaces X minus. Then you can get RNH2, which in turn gives R2NH, which in turn gives R3N, and which in turn gives R4N plus X minus. Primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine, and finally it gives quaternary ammonium salt. This is the fifth one. And sixth one, when haloalkane is allowed to react with KCN, this reaction takes place by ionic mechanism, splits into K plus and Cn minus. Now Cn minus replaces X minus. Then you can get RCN. The same haloalkane, when allowed to react with the AgCN, this reaction takes place by covalent mechanism. Here nitrogen inverts electron pair to alkyl group. Then you can get RNC, alkyl isocyanide as product. If haloalkane is allowed to react with KNO2, that is today what we discussed here now. then it gives RONO by ionic mechanism. Whereas this haloalkane, when allowed to react with AgNO2, this reaction takes place by covalent mechanism where nitrogen can donate electron pair to alkyl group. Then we can get RNO2. This is, and one more is RX plus R dash COOAZ gives rise R dash COOR plus NaX. Ester will be formed as the product. And one more RX plus HC triple bond C minus and Na plus monosodium acrylate. Then it gives RC triple bond CH. So these are the nucleophilic substitution reactions, still what we discussed. In all these cases, the common feature is X minus in all the haloalkanes is replaced by the nucleophile of the attacking reagent, AOH, OH minus, AZOH, OH minus, NaI, I minus, R dash ONA, R dash O minus, NH3, this nitrogen units electron pair here, KCN, CN minus, carbon donor, AgCN, nitrogen donor, RNC we can get, KNO2, this splits into K plus and NO2 minus, and oxygen can donate electron pair, we can get alkyl nitrate, AgNO2, nitrogen units electron pair, so we can get nitroalkane, RCOOAZ, this oxygen units electron pair, we can get ester, esterylide, carbon units electron pair, we can get alkynes. So these are all examples of nucleophilic substitution reaction, still what we discussed yesterday and today. Okay, right. Now come to the second one, elimination reactions. So different types of elimination reactions are there. There is alpha elimination, beta elimination. Again in beta elimination, different types are there. E1 mechanism, E2 mechanism. The mechanisms further we'll discuss. Let us say examples for these haloalkanes. CH3, CH2, Cl. Nothing but this is ethyl chloride. Ethyl chloride. So when ethyl chloride is allowed to react with alcoholic KOH, so ethyl chloride react with alcoholic KOH. So in earlier nucleophilic substitution reaction, we have taken aqueous KOH. So what the difference between these two is, in aqueous KOH, OH minus can act as strong nucleophile, whereas in alcoholic KOH, OH minus can act as a strong base. So now, since OH minus in alcoholic KOH acts as strong base, it prefers elimination. That means it removes the proton from this haloalkane. As a result, we can get eliminated product. So then here what you will get is, when it allowed to react with alcoholic KOH, dehydrohallucination takes place. This is nothing but dehydrohallucination. D means removal, loss. Hydrogen halide, removal of hydrogen halide, nothing but called as dehydrohallucination. So when ethyl chloride is allowed to react with alcoholic KOH, dehydrohallucination takes place and we can get alkene as the product. This is. Then how the reaction takes place here is, just I'll show here, CH3, single bond, CH, Cl, this is ethyl chloride. Here OH minus can act as a strong base. Now this OH minus approaches this hydrogen. and donates electron pair to this hydrogen. Whenever a strong bond is formed here, the bond between these two will break. That means this electron pair will be shifted to here. Whenever this electron pair is shifted to here, then this electron pair is gained by Cl. As a result here, this bond electron pair is shifted to here and forms a double bond. This electron pair is gained by chlorine and chlorine becomes Cl minus, OH minus and H plus combined to form water. So this forms water, and here you can get CH2 double bond CH2 ethylene, Cl minus. This is Cl minus and remaining K plus combined to form KCl. So we can get ethylene plus KCl plus H2. These are the products. See once again. So OH minus attacks this hydrogen. When this OH minus attacks this hydrogen, this electron pair is shifted to here, and this CCl electron pair is gained by Cl minus. When this electron pair is shifted to here, it becomes double bond, and this electron pair is gained by chlorine and becomes Cl minus. So OH minus and H combine to form water molecule, and this is Cl minus and remaining K plus of alkalic OH combine to form KCl. So this is the mechanism of this dehydrohallucination. Then what is the product formed here? This is nothing but ethene or ethylene. One more example I'll take here. CH2, CH, Cl, CH2. And this allowed to react with alkalic KOH. This is a primary haloalkane, whereas this is secondary haloalkane. Then what is the product formed here? Sorry, this is CH3. See, this is also called as a beta elimination reaction. These are examples what I have done here. These are examples of beta. What is beta elimination? See, the halogen attached carbon is called as alpha carbon. The next carbons are called as beta carbons. See, here we are having two beta carbons, but both beta carbons are exactly same. Alpha carbon next methyl group is there, alpha carbon next methyl group is there. Both beta carbons are same. So now from this carbon we will eliminate halogen. Either from this carbon or from this carbon we will eliminate hydrogen. Since hydrogen is eliminated from beta carbon, this is called as beta elimination reactions. That is the reason. Now Cl minus can be removed from this. H plus we can remove either from here or here. Either way both are correct only. Both use same product. Then what will you get here? CH3 single bond, CH double bond, CH2 plus KCl plus H2O. This is nothing but a propene. What is the name of this compound? This is a 2-chloropropane. So dehydrohallucination of 2-chloropropane gives propene. Right. Now I'll take one more example. Tertiary haloalkane. CH3C Cl, or just a minute, CH3C CH3 CH3 Cl. When this is allowed to react with alkalic KOH, then this is alpha carbon. These three are beta carbons, and these three beta carbons are exactly same. So we'll eliminate halogen from this carbon, and we can eliminate hydrogen from either of these three halogens. Sorry, either of these three alkyl groups. From here or here or here, wherever you eliminate hydrogen, you can get the same product. Now, from this carbon halogen and from this or this or this, if we remove hydrogen, then we can get here CH2. CH2 double bond C CH3 plus KCl plus water. From this carbon halogen, from this carbon hydrogen I have eliminated. I took double bond here. Then this is the product what is formed. What is the name of this compound? This is the long chain here. Long chain contains 3 carbons. 1, 2, 3. At second position, one methyl group is present as branch. So this is 2-methyl propene. So 2-methyl propene is formed as the product. Now let us see. Primary haloalkane, secondary haloalkane, tertiary haloalkane. All these is same type of products, alkanes only. So the reaction yields same type of products, that is alkene, but the rate of reactivity is different. What is the order of reactivity? What is the order of reactivity of these haloalkanes towards elimination reactions? So the order of reactivity of haloalkanes towards elimination reaction is tertiary greater than, secondary greater than, primary. That means the order of reactivity of these three is this third one greater than, second one greater than, first one. This is tertiary, this is secondary, and this is primary. So the reactivity order for elimination reactions of haloalkanes is tertiary greater than, secondary greater than, primary. Suppose if you are comparing a particular type of haloalkanes, either primary or secondary or tertiary only, then what is the order of reactivity? Iodoalkanes greater than, bromoalkanes greater than, haloalkanes greater than, fluoroalkanes. So I minus is the better leaving group than compared to Br minus or Cl minus or F minus. As the size of the leaving group increases, that can be replaced very easily. This is a bulky leaving group. So this can be replaced easily than compared to Br minus. Or if the leaving group is a weaker base, that can be removed very easily. For example, take I minus, Br minus, Cl minus, F minus. These are the conjugate base of strong acid HI, HBr, HCl, and HF. These are the acids. So from here to here, acidic strength decreases. That means HI is the strong acid among these. Strong acid has a weaker conjugate base. So if the leaving group is a weak conjugate base, that can be replaced very easily. Okay. So weak bases are better leaving groups. So among these, the basic strength of I minus less than, Br minus less than, Cl minus less than, F minus. So weaker the base, better the leaving group. So the order of reactivity of haloalkanes is Ri greater than, Rbr greater than, Rcl greater than, Rf. Right. And see here what you have taken, all these are symmetrical haloalkanes. That means where the halogen is attached, on either side, what the alkyl groups are there, both are exactly same. So these are all symmetrical haloalkanes. This is a dehydrohalogenation of symmetrical haloalkanes. Then what about unsymmetrical haloalkanes? Let us see now. A symmetrical haloalkane on dehydrohalogenation gives only one product. Whereas if the haloalkane is unsymmetrical, then there is a 2 or more than 2 possibilities are there. An example here. CH2, CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl, CH2, CH3. Now this is a symmetrical or unsymmetrical haloalkane. This is the carbon to which halogen is bonded. On both sides, the 2 alkyl groups present are same ethyl groups. Now this is a symmetrical haloalkane. Now instead of this, if I take the molecule like this, This is alpha carbon. This is beta carbon. This is also beta carbon. Now here beta carbon is methyl group, whereas here the beta carbon is methylene group. Both are same or different? Different. Now this is an unsymmetrical alkene. That means halogen attached carbon is bonded to two different alkyl groups. That is called unsymmetrical haloalkane. Now, when this unsymmetrical haloalkane is allowed to react with alcoholic KOH, then what is the product formed here? Okay, we'll remove halogen from this alpha carbon, clear. Then from where we have to eliminate hydrogen? From this beta carbon we will eliminate hydrogen, or from this beta carbon we can eliminate hydrogen. Now two different possibilities are there. Suppose if the halogen eliminated from this beta carbon, then double bond will come here. Then the product is CH3, CH, double bond, CH, single bond, CH3. Suppose if hydrogen eliminated from this carbon, then double bond will come here. Now the product is CH3, CH2, CH, double bond, CH2. In addition to this, the byproducts formed is KCl plus water. These are byproducts. Okay. Now, out of these two, which is correct? Which is the major product? See, generally during a reaction, if two or more products are formed, the more stable compound is formed as the major product. Now, among these two, which is more stable, that will be the major product. Then how to predict which alkene is more stable? As you have studied in first few syllabus, the stability of alkenes, depending on hyperconjugation. The alkene which is having more number of hyperconjugated structures is more stable. How to find number of hyperconjugated structures? Simply here, the double bonded attached carbon atom, this is called alpha carbon. Here double bonded attached carbon, this is alpha carbon. And the hydrogens attached to these carbons are called alpha hydrogens. So number of hyperconjugated structures is equal to number of alpha hydrogens in an alkene. So how many alpha hydrogens are there here? Here 3 hydrogens are there, and here also 3 hydrogens are there. Total 6 alpha hydrogens are there. That means here you can get 6 hyperconjugated structures for this alkene molecule. Now come to this. Here there is no alpha carbon, and for this an alpha carbon is there. How many alpha hydrogens are there? 2 alpha hydrogens. Then how many hyperconjugated structures are possible here? 2 only. Here 6 hyperconjugated structures are possible, whereas here 2 hyperconjugated structures are possible. That means among these two, the first one is more stable, second one is less stable. As a result here, this is formed to an extent of 80%. This is formed to an extent of 20% only. And this can be explained based on a rule called as a Saitjev rule. Yeah, what is Saitjev rule? The dehydrohalogenation of unsymmetrical haloalkanes takes place according to Saitjev rule, which is nothing but during dehydrohalogenation of an unsymmetrical alkene, more substituted alkene is formed as the major product. That means when a haloalkane, there is an unsymmetrical haloalkane, eliminates hydrogen halide, among the alkenes formed, the more substituted haloalkane is formed as the major product. This is nothing but a Saitjev rule. So during dehydrohalogenation of unsymmetrical haloalkane, more substituted alkene is formed as the major product, or the preferred product is the more substituted haloalkane, because more substituted haloalkenes are more stable than compared to less substituted haloalkenes. Let us see one more example I'll take here now. CH3, CH, CH3, CH, Cl, CH2, CH3. All right. Yeah, this is one more molecule. What is the name of this compound here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-chloro. Sorry, yeah. From this end, you should give numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-chloro, 2,3 dimethyl pentane. This is the name of this compound. Now, if this molecule is allowed to react with alcoholic KOH, then what are the products possible here? Simple. When a haloalkane given, how many alkenes are formed as the products means? The given haloalkane contains how many types of beta carbon atoms? That is the number of alkenes formed. Now see this compound. Here, this haloalkane contains 2 different types of beta carbons. So we got 2 alkenes. Now take this compound. Now this is alpha carbon, halogen attached carbon. This is a beta carbon. This is a beta carbon, and this is a beta carbon. Now this is a CH, CH2, CH3. How many types of beta carbons are there? 3 different types of beta carbons are there. As a result here, 3 products are possible. What those 3 products possible are? If we eliminate halogen from this alpha carbon, fixed that is. Now I'm going to eliminate hydrogen from this beta carbon. Then the product formed is CH3, C, CH3, double bond, C, CH3, CH2, CH3. This is one product. If I eliminate hydrogen from this beta carbon. Next, I am going to eliminate hydrogen from this beta carbon now. Then what is the product formed? CH3, CH, CH3, single bond, C, CH3, double bond, CH, single bond, CH3. This is second possibility. One more possibility is there. I will eliminate hydrogen from this beta carbon. Now then double bond will get here. Now the structure is CH3, CH, CH3, C, double bond CH2, single bond CH2, CH3. Yeah. See here. From the same molecule, we got 3 different types of alkenes. Because here there is 3 different types of beta carbons are there. So number of alkene products formed during a dehydrohalogenation of a haloalkane is number of types of beta carbon atoms. Here 3 types of beta carbons are there. We got 3 products. Whereas here only 2 types of beta carbons are there. That's why we got only 2 products. Now among these 3, as per Sagehoff rule, which is the major product? What we discussed, as per this rule, more substituted alkene is formed as the major product. Now, out of these 3, which is more substituted alkene? So, yeah, this double bonded carbon has 2 alkyl groups. This double bonded carbon has also having 2 alkyl groups. This double bonded carbon is, here this double bonded carbon is having 2 alkyl groups. This double bonded carbon is having only 1 alkyl group. Here 3 alkyl groups are substance. Here 4 alkyl groups are there. Now take this. Here there is no alkyl groups here, but here 2 alkyl groups are there. So double bonded carbons contains 2 alkyl groups. Here 3 alkyl groups, whereas here 4 alkyl groups. Where substitution is more? Here substitution is more. See, this double bonded carbon contains 2 alkyl groups. Here 2 alkyl groups. This double bonded carbon contains only 1 alkyl group here, whereas 2 alkyl groups here. Total 3 alkyl groups. Here double bonded carbons contains only 2 alkyl groups. 4, 3, 2. This is more substituted alkene. This is one method. Otherwise, just count the number of alpha hydrogens. Where you will get more number of alpha hydrogens that has more number of hyperconjugated structures, that is more stable. Now here, this contains here 3 hydrogens, here 3 hydrogens. This double bonded carbon contains 3 hydrogens here, 2 hydrogens here. Total 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, 11 alpha hydrogens are here in first compound. In the case of second one, 3 plus 3. Sorry. Yeah, this is double bonded carbon. This is alpha carbon 3 is there. This is alpha carbon contains only 1 hydrogen. So here 1 hydrogen, here 3 hydrogens, and one more. To this double bonded carbon, this is alpha carbon. Here 3 hydrogens are there. Here 1, here 3, and here 3. Total 7 alpha hydrogens are here. Now come to the structure. No alpha carbon, no alpha hydrogen. This is alpha carbon, 2 hydrogens. This is alpha carbon, only 1 hydrogen. Total here 3 alpha hydrogens are there. So more the number of alpha hydrogens, more is the number of hyperconjugated structures. More is the number of hyperconjugated structure, more is the stability of alkene. That means out of these 3 products, the first one is formed as the major product. So more than 80% of the product formed here is the first one. So dehydrohallucination of 3-chloro-2,2 dimethyl gives, what is the name of this compound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2,3 dimethyl pent-2-ene. So this is the product formed here. 2,3 dimethyl pent-2-ene. So like this. A symmetrical haloalkane on dehydrohallucination with alcoholic KOH gives only 1 alkene as the product. In case of unsymmetrical haloalkanes, 2 or more products are formed. The number of alkenes formed is equal to the number of types of beta carbon atoms in haloalkane. And in case of unsymmetrical haloalkanes, the dehydrohallucination takes place according to the Saitjev rule. What this Saitjev rule is? When unsymmetrical haloalkane undergo dehydrohallucination, more substituted alkene is formed as the major product, or the alkene which contains more number of alkyl groups is formed as the major product. This is nothing but called as Saitjev rule. In objective examination, they are asking questions based on this dehydrohallucination of unsymmetrical haloalkanes. This is an important concept here. So this is elimination reaction. So overall, elimination of haloalkanes gives alkenes. Unsymmetrical haloalkanes undergo elimination according to Saitjev rule. That is, more substituted alkene is formed as the major product. So this is regarding elimination reactions. Now come to the third type of reactions. Still we discussed nucleophilic substitution reactions and elimination reactions. The third one is reaction with metals. In that, the first one is reaction with sodium metal. This reaction is nothing but called nothing but known as Wurtz reaction. And this is an important named reaction. So frequently they are asking in a PS examination. In first PS also you have studied this equation, Wurtz reaction, in the preparation of alkenes from haloalkanes. Right. So what is Wurtz reaction? RX, haloalkane, when allowed to react with a sodium metal in the presence of dry ether, then we can get a higher alkanes as the product. So this is a balanced equation here. Haloalkanes react with the sodium metal in the presence of dry ether and gives higher alkanes as the products. This reaction is known as Wurtz reaction. Let us see an example here. Methyl iodide, CH3I. This is methyl iodide. When methyl iodide is allowed to react with a sodium metal in the presence of dry ether, then we can get a ethane as the product plus 2NaI. So this is the product here. So haloalkanes react with the sodium metal in the presence of dry ether to give higher alkanes, ethane, as the product. This is called as a Wurtz reaction. Let us see how this reaction takes place. What is the mechanism of this reaction? See, when haloalkane is allowed to react with a sodium metal, it forms a RNA, R minus Na plus plus NaX. And then this RNA, what is formed here, R minus Na plus, this react with a 1 more mole of Rx and gives a R single bond R plus NaX. Suppose if we combine both the equations, this RNA get cancelled. Okay, then you can get 2Rx plus 2Na gives rise R single bond R plus 2NaX. Nothing but this equation as it is you can get. So this is one probable mechanism. And one more probable mechanism is also proposed. One more type of mechanism here is free radical mechanism is also proposed. Haloalkane. When 2 moles of haloalkane is allowed to react with sodium, you can get 2 alkyl radicals plus 2 NaX. And what the 2 alkyl radicals formed here, these will combine with each other and forms alkane. So this is a ionic mechanism. This is a free radical mechanism. So 2 different types of mechanisms are proposed to explain this Wurtz reaction. Overall, haloalkanes react with a sodium metal in the presence of dry ether to give higher alkanes. This reaction is known as Wurtz reaction. But one thing here. So by this Wurtz reaction, methane CH4 cannot be prepared. Why? Because during this Wurtz reaction, there should be a formation of new carbon-carbon bond. So here CH3I is there, methyl iodide. Here CH3 single bond CH3. In this Wurtz reaction, a new carbon-carbon bond is formed. So methane cannot be prepared by this method. And one more. So tertiary butyl halides if you take, there is another tertiary haloalkanes if you take, that tertiary haloalkane does not undergo Wurtz reaction readily due to steric hindrance. So if you take a tertiary butyl chloride, that tertiary butyl chloride does not undergo Wurtz reaction easily. Okay. So this is regarding a Wurtz reaction. Again, so in this Wurtz reaction, intermolecular Wurtz reaction is there, intramolecular Wurtz reaction is there. So what are different types of Wurtz reactions? And some examples are there. So in the tomorrow class, we'll discuss the remaining examples of Wurtz reaction and inter as well as intramolecular Wurtz reactions. Okay, thank you.